Hey, what's up, guys? It's Matt Modi with OddsJam. While we wait for the sportsbooks to start posting props for Thanksgiving football, we'll be doing an NBA video. So today will be NBA player props for tonight's game on Tuesday, November 3rd. I have three for you that I've already locked in that are all positive expected value, and for me, totaling a little over, a little over 100, around 150 bucks. So just to kind of give you a recap of how things have been going, because I haven't done a basketball video in a while. My first week doing NBA, I profited about 1,100 bucks. I think my next week was about 200. I haven't been tracking it in the past couple weeks because I was on vacation for 2 weeks, so I wasn't betting at all. So it's been a little bit, so I'm not exactly sure the time frame of everything. But what I can tell you is that my profits for NBA has gone up to about 2,500, as you can see here. It's been incredibly profitable. I when I started it, I had my bankroll at 500. I've upped that now to 750, and I think I might have to up that again because it's just been going so well. Like I said, I have three bets for you today: 2 player props, 1 game prop. I think just to kind of give people an idea of what my process is like. So whenever I'm looking at player props, I'll lock in everything over 7% positive expected value. I don't have a ton of data behind that. That's just kind of the number that I've noticed seems to be the most successful. And obviously, the higher the positive expected value, the better the bet's going to be. So like this bet, since it's only has a 44% chance of hitting, my amount to wager was about 40. A little bit a lower one. This Cade Cunningham. These are 2 of my plays so far. This one, a little bit higher winning percentage, but the positive expected value isn't as good, so it's still having me wager 35. Fortunately, when I locked this, I got it at plus 118. It looks like the sports books have caught up a little, dropped it down to 110, but still a good positive bet, so it still will be one of my plays. And then I've noticed so there are none here that I could show you, but I've noticed game props above 5% have a good success rate of hitting. So one of the plays that I have is a game prop that I locked in, which is still positive value, and I would still recommend putting money on it. But that's just, I want to make sure that people understand the value of becoming an OddsJam industry member. And for me, it's all about this positive expected value page. So for me, my general process is any player prop above 7%, any game prop above 5%, I'll lock in blindly. And a lot of times it'll end up being green like this, where the closing line is better than, the OddsJam, the odds that I get is better than the OddsJam closing line, which is what it is here. But there's just to get it started. So I'll do it in order of the amount of money I placed on them. So I put 60 bucks on the Cade Cunningham over 5.5 assists. As you can tell, unfortunately the odds dropped to plus 110 as opposed to plus 118, but I still think that's a very good bet to make. Cade Cunningham had a slow start. He missed the first couple games, about a week or so. I forget exactly how much, to injury, and then he's been kind of coming on slow. But his last game was the best game he had all year. If you remember, it was that game where the game against the Lakers where there was that crazy Isaiah Stewart kind of lost his mind. But pretty much since he started, he's been hovering. He started hovering around between 2 and 4. And then recently in the past week, he's gone over that 5.5 every single game. 8 against the Kings, 6, and then 10 against the Lakers in his first career triple-double. So he hasn't shown that he can affect the game scoring yet. He's still kind of working out the scoring, but the passing's been there. And getting this at plus money over 5.5, I think that's a great bet. Like I said, it's hit the past 4 games, culminating in the last game, him getting his first triple-double and his first double-digit assist game. And I think this is just going to continue. They play a good defense in the Heat tonight. It's the Heat versus the Pistons. But I still have faith in him getting to that 6 assist number. So that'll be my first play. I put 60 bucks on it. And I think it's a good one. The next one is going to be the under, this top one here. I guess I should say the first one, the Cade Cunningham. I got it on Fanduel at plus 118. Looks like you can get it now on Caesars and DraftKings at plus 110. But that is the Cade Cunningham over 5.5 assists. So the next one is the game prop, which I really like. I got it on BetMGM. It's the Pistons Heat game again, and it's under 209 total points. So I got that at minus 115 odds, and right now the OddsJam Perfect line has that at minus 133, and that is with the VIG taken out, to be clear. It's funny. we're used to the past couple years saying, bet NBA overs and retire. But I think recently this year, I think there's a couple reasons why the unders have been trending heavily trending. I mean, if you just want to look, let me Google it real quick. NBA point total over under against the spread. So it looks like we want the over. So it looks like most teams. Looks like I can only show it by team, but it looks like most teams, you see these trending towards the under at 70%. Looks like obviously, as you can see, majority of the teams are trending above 50% on the under. So the reason for that is A, the foul rules have changed, and B, the new ball seems to be affecting some players. I believe Mark Cuban came out and said that the new ball has been affecting some of the players shooting, but it seems like the Odds Jam Perfect Line understands that the under has been trending, but I think the sports books in Vegas in general is still kind of catching up. So you can find a lot of value on these unders, and I found a good one in this Pistons Heat game. The Heat have a great defense. The Pistons are one of the worst teams in the league, so that kind of just trends towards the under in games like that. So you hope that it doesn't turn into an offensive firehouse, game like that, but I'm not expecting it. So that under 209.5, that's a really good play. So I put 55 on that. So that's what gets me to about 110, 115. And then my last one, and again, that's BetMGM Sportsbook where I got that on. And then this last one is Norman Powell under 2.5 rebounds. I wanted to make sure I got one that is pretty decent plus money. So the Cade Cunningham was plus 118. This one's even greater, plus 140. Since there's a lower percent chance of this bet hitting, I didn't put as much on it. So this one I put 35 on. And I know 2.5 seems low, but I don't believe, if I'm going to look up Norman Powell's stats, I'm pretty sure he hasn't hit above 4 rebounds the entire year. Yeah, so it looks like the most he's had was against the Raptors with 4. That was his old team as well. Normally he hovers between 2 and 4. And for me, I know that, like I said, 3 isn't a lot. Doesn't a lot of rebounds to get. But for a player like him that he almost never gets more than 4, I'll bet on the lack of ceiling on that one. I'll bet for him to have between 1 and 2 or 0 and 2 rebounds. Like I said, there's a reason. Looks like he averages about 2.5. So right at that number. But yeah, like I said, he's never been a big rebounding guy, especially since he's been in Portland. And the fact that it's plus money at plus 140, obviously I want to make sure I got one that had some good plus money odds. So those are going to be my 3 plays for the night. I wanted to keep this video a little bit shorter since it's NBA player props and game props tend to be a little more hit or miss, and not as intense as the football ones. So the big Thanksgiving preview will be out soon. It'll be out soon once they start posting the lines. But just to recap, and I'll have a screenshot of all these plays at the end of the video as well. On BetMGM, I got the under 209.5 total points in the Pistons Heat game. And in that same game on Fanduel, I got the Cade Cunningham over 5.5 assists at plus 118. So unfortunately, those odds have changed, and now it looks like you can get that at DraftKings and Caesars at plus 110. And then lastly, the Norman Powell under 2.5 rebounds at plus 140. I got that on Caesars. So that's all I got for you today. Happy betting, happy watching, and good luck.